Joy Chicken, Ramon? Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah.
અહીંયા બેસો તો અમે લોકો સ્ટેજ પર જઈએ તો કોઈ તો હોય
એટલે મેં કીધું કે કોકે તો બેસવું પડશે ને બધા એન્જોય કરશે તો
અહીંયા કંઈક તો અમે તો અમે લોકો પોતે ચેર પર જઈએ બેસો
we are not here.
થેન્ક
Should I
યુ
check in about this?
प्रणेश पेन कहाँ पे पेन कौन सा बॉक्स
Hey,
Hey, hi.
Hi.
Rishi.
Hi.
Presentation is okay. Ma'am.
Yeah.
okay.
Quiero ver si usa la કોઈ રીઝન હોય પણ તો જુદી વસ્તુ છે તમે આત્મે લોકો લોસ કરીને વેચવું પડે તમારે
प्रणेश पेन
Τώρα το με πούλο કોઈ કશું ના કરે તરત મેં કરાવવાનું મારી માં ગુસ્સો થઈ Me siento súper querida, que no me hizo rapar. Yo creo que
आपको मैं कब से ढूंढ रही हूँ आपको अच्छी है अब हमेशा से
सुचे मैडम that's chill मस्त लागली very
I request everybody present around here to please come into the auditorium so that we can start with the program.
Hi, yes.
नहीं आया?
कोई फंक्शन
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
It was so impressive.
हमेशा नहीं आया?
It's just like, I walked in there and I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah. It's really super.
हम love in all
Questions as well.
Testing.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Hello, hello. So, hello. We are starting the program in 2 minutes. I request everyone who are not involved in any task, please come here. Hello. We are starting the program and I would like to request our guest to come on the front row. Hello. Hello. Chalo. I request everyone. Hello. Auditorium, Ashok bhai.
Okay, let's go. Yes, we have to go, right?
I'm 18. And I'm also an immortal. So what? And I can also use my alarm. So hey, YouTube. That. So I'm 32 total. I only have 6. Yeah, because if I want to use it, I have $80. How many tickets do you have in total? Like 10, 6?
He just gets home.
I saw somebody pay yeah. After this, we are going to do 4. What? I'm gonna eat and get a bunch of food. I'm gonna eat and get a bunch of food. I'm gonna add those pasta. You get free pizza. You get free pizza. For the last time people, hey, you have to get the first one for the guy. At least you have a ticket.
Okay. Bolo Power Swami Bhagavan ki. So we are starting this event, and first of all, thank you very much our guest from CA to join us in this program. And it's hardly sorry we are a little bit late in starting up this program because of the snow and storm and everything. So we had a hard time to get this auditorium and decorated. So please everyone, I request come on the front side. Rajiv bhai, please come, please. And if you get chair, please take your seat. So as we all know, this is our third event of the year. And every year we do this kind of charity. So Ahimsa and charity. They are pillars of our Jainism. And we try to teach this concept, these principles from the beginning or childhood of our kids. And that's why you see, everyone in our community, they helped us in this program. Either they helped us in decoration, either they helped us in food, everyone worked. None of the food we bought from outside. Everyone prepared food in last 24 hours. I know many couples, many families, they work till last like 3 o'clock to prepare the foods so we can serve and we can generate some revenue. And that revenue, 100%, we are donating to other organizations. So not a single dollar we are keeping with us. So that's our goal. Our kids understand the value of ahimsa, non-violence, animal compassion, vegan foods. So that kind of principles we would like our kids to learn. They go to Pathshala, they teach over there, and this is the practical we are trying to explain to our kids and our young generations what to do. So you see, there are so many booths here today to explain about the concept of animal compassion, vegan, and definitely we have expert now to go through in more detail today. Uh, and we have so many other booths to promote our Indian heritage, Indian culture. But whatever the collections, net collections we get, definitely it all goes towards charity. Once we are done here, so I'm just giving kind of brief of this event. We have few lectures here first, then we have games for kids and adult, and then we have food stall. Food stalls is the most awaited event of JCM because people come to just take food to understand how vegan Jain food can possible, and they it's a very tasty food. So we get some revenue and definitely it's for donation. So before taking much time, I would like to invite two new leaders of our community. They are the first time in the board, but the way they have planned, exhibit this event, it's literally example. So I would like to invite our board members, Kanuncha and Pranesh Jain, to on the stage and take care of this event from here.
Jai Jinendra, everyone. Thanks for making this time to attend this charity program today. We will now start with our Nukar mantra. I would like all the kids present in this auditorium to come to the stage and to recite the Nukar mantra.
All kids, all kids. We have special gift for them too. Please, all kids. Look at you too. One smile, please, first. Put up middle one. Put us up.
Om Namo Harihantaram. Om Namo Setanam. Om Namo Hariyanam. Om Namo Uvachayam.
from this side. Kids from this side.
So,
Just check out for the bar. And we have special gift for all kids. So please take your gift.
thank you, kids, for reciting the Navkar mantra for us today. And as a token of appreciation, we would like to invite Kunja Bhai to hand over a thank you gift to the kids, please. And as we know that today's theme is about ahimsa and veganism, and as we know that veganism is like a reflection of ahimsa. If you follow ahimsa, probably you are vegan. So I would like to invite some community members who have been practicing veganism to share their experience and give us some knowledge about veganism. I would like to invite Nishant Jain, Rajiv Jain, and Shikha Jain to the stage to share your experience with us.
Ishan Jain, Shikha Jain,
Okay, looks like we don't have Shikha Jain here, so we have Hiral Shah here. So she will share her veganism experience with us there.
Hello everyone. Um, my name is Viral Shah and I have been not totally vegan, but I started being a vegan about a year back. I stopped drinking milk about 15 years back. Like I totally turned into almond milk and so forth. But ever since I have been following vegan food, I think the experience has been amazing. Um, Not only health-wise, obviously you have a lot of health benefits when you follow vegan diet, but uh, at least it feels like good in your heart that you are having some kind of compassion for the animals, and who are who unnecessarily get suffering because of our interest, right? So I would like to say that I have heard that it has good health benefits, but I didn't follow vegan food for health reasons. But I noticed when I went for your yearly checkup, my blood test results, they were always normal, uh, but the cholesterol, you have the good cholesterol and the bad cholesterol in the body, right? So my bad cholesterol was always in the border range. It never went above the border range, like above the normal limit. So after following the vegan diet just for 1 year, totally leaving out milk and milk products, I found that my good cholesterol increased. And I have the numbers with me, and I can show you my actual chart. So that was really surprising to me when that happened. But I just thought that, oh wow, when people say that your cholesterol decreases, that's really true, and I experienced it myself. And it's not just about I think health benefits, but it's all about animal suffering. That's the main cause that vegan diet is important. So um, I'll have Rajiv Bhai also talk something about his experience because he has been following vegan diet for a very, very long time.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Rajiv Jain, and I've been following veganism since 2013, so it's about 6 years. I visited Jena Convention in 2013, and I saw an exhibition there that really moved me, and I started really thinking about animal compassion and read about it, and I have a lot of material I can share if anybody is interested. But that really was a turning point, and I started following veganism. I know it is difficult, but it's not hard. And if somebody really wants to pursue, then I suggest that they start like saying, hey, once a month or once a week, they they will not eat any dairy product. So that's how they can start, and then you can increase the frequency. Similarly, when I started veganism, I was able to quit almost everything except tea because that's like a very important uh, drink, at least for all the Indians. So I thought, okay, that's fine. At least I have reduced my intake to start with, and then last 6 7 months, I even have stopped drinking tea altogether. So I'm a complete vegan, and I also follow not only in terms of dairy product, but also anything that is made of animals. So even like chickens or birds or anything. So. And then this country is very vegan friendly in my opinion. You get substitutes for everything that you eat today that you think that may not be possible once you turn vegan. Like so many varieties of ice cream, yogurt, those are things that people think, hey, it's really hard to quit. But I will really tell you that if you go and you find substitutes product, you will probably find everything. I mean, there are some products that you will feel that they are better than even the dairy itself. I can totally challenge that. And so that's how I started. I don't have a lot of time here, but I'm here. Anybody interested to know more, just let me know. I can help in whatever way I can. Thank you.
And I would like to add that if you want to find any substitutes for vegan food, you should always go to Whole Foods, and that's where I have found like vegan yogurt and everything, and they even have the sour cream, which is vegan, which is really tasty, and it's much better in health reasons for uh, to eat and so forth. So that's where I started because yogurt was I didn't know what to do about yogurt, how to make yogurt. But then I found out, a year back that this is how you can make your own yogurt out of almond milk or soy milk, and then you could go to Whole Foods, and they have a lot of variety for those who really want to try vegan food. I'm not promoting any store. I'm not part of Whole Foods, but I'm just saying, that one of the places which I went and I always go to for my needs.
Thank you, Hiren Shah and Rajiv Bhai, for sharing your experience and inspiring us to go vegan. Now, I would now like to invite Ram Bhai, the founding member of JV Center and past president, to come to talk about the Jeev Daya, which means animal compassion.
Jai Jinendra and welcome. Welcome to Ahimsa Carnival. Ahimsa is the first tenet of Jainism. Bhagwan Mahavir, the 24th Tirthankar, had 10 principles, and those 10 principles are described in Das Vaikarika Sutra. So I think it would, instead of my telling, I would read what Bhagwan Mahavir said. That was in Urdu, but I will tell you in English, very short version. The first great vow is to desist from causing hurt to living beings with full knowledge and devotion. Bhante, desist from all kinds of hurt caused to living beings, be they minute or large, mobile or without movement, whoever may be living, shall I not myself hurt, nor order others to do so, nor approve any so doing, and that for good, by three instruments, and most these three by mind, word, and deed. I shall not do, nor order, nor approve. Bhante, I desist from hurt inflicted in the past. I decry, I denounce, dedicate my soul. Bhante, present I own myself dedicated, desisted from hurt to living beings, and in first great vow ordained. So this is the heart and life of Jain religion, the Ahimsa. In other translation, you can say love. If you love yourself, if you don't want to get hurt yourself, how can you hurt somebody else, someone else? Now that does not apply only to human beings. It applies to all living beings. And that's where vegetarianism comes, that's where veganism comes. In India, the dairy products were considered all right by even Jains. But when Jains came to this country and they saw the hurt to these animals producing the dairy cow products, it's just terrible. Even though in Jain there is a tap, one of the tap or fasting is minimize or use of the milk, salt, sugar, oil, and so on and so forth. It's a tough. Even the monks of Jainism, they do not take dairy products. And many times the dairy products are thrown upon us by the dairy industry, whether it was in India or whether it's in US or worldwide. It's a dairy industry has done this. Just think about it. How can we hurt any living being? Because living being, whether animal or plant, they all have a feeling. They do experience the pain or happiness. So with that one, Ahimsa, and I think I appreciate the Jain Center sponsoring this vegan or Ahimsa Carnival. This is the first time, because this is the fundamental principle of Jainism, and we should stick to it, and more people should turn towards the veganism. Now, I don't claim I am 100% vegan. I still take little milk in that tea. One of these days I will quit that. But we have the great speakers over here to tell us about the veganism. And this organization, CAA, Compassionate Action for Animals. Just think about it, they are non-Jains. They are non-Jains. This organization is existent 21 years. They are celebrating 21st year. Just like Jain Center will be celebrating this year 30 years. So these people, non-Jains in this country, are following the path of the Bhagwan Mahavir had said long time ago. Jeev Daya, compassionate for the animals, compassionate for the plant kingdom. It comes all down to ecology, environment. If we want to save the world, save the plant kingdom, save the animal kingdom. So I think we, as a Jains, our duty to express or spread the message of Bhagwan Mahavir, which is Ahimsa, Anekam, and aparigraha. Aparigraha is controlling the use of material things, reduce. And I hear we have champions and founders of CAA. First, I will introduce Uni Namudripa. First, let me tell you the personal relationship with this gentleman. Uni, son of our dear friend Godan Namudripa, Godan is here. Father, stand up. Ina and I know Uni last 40 years. Uni has been lifetime advocate for animals, co-founder of CAA, the organization we have invited today, and Twin Cities Veg Fest at the University of Minnesota. Many of you must have gone there, Veg Fest. It's a fantastic event. Every year it comes, and you should visit that place where you will find lots of vegan products which you may not have seen other places. We have been there a few years. Also, right now, he is directing his energy to help animal, facilitate people who are involved with animal protection. So it's a great pleasure, Uni, you being here. Also, I'd like to introduce Laura Mentel. She is currently Director of Compassionate Action for Animals, CAA. Now, Laura has spent all her life creating compassionate community as a citizen, teacher, non-profit fund founders, and now as the Director of Compassionate Action. So, on behalf of Jain Center of Minnesota, give a warm welcome to this speaker.
Well, it's such an honor to be here today and to be invited by your community, and very much appreciate it. And it is so exciting to have this intersection of, our work, which is so much the same about creating passion for animals and compassionate community. And as Uni and I were planning this today, we thought we really wanted to do something that was interactive, and got us all thinking together about how we put Ahimsa into practice in our own lives. So, I'm going to ask if you, in just a minute here, would just take a minute right now to think about how you yourself practice Ahimsa in your day-to-day life. And then you're going to have 2 minutes, and I want you to find somebody sitting near you, maybe someone you don't know yet, if you can, and tell them, how do you practice Ahimsa or nonviolence or love in your own life? So go ahead right now and take 1 minute each and tell somebody near you, how do you practice Ahimsa or nonviolence?
How do you practice compassion? Let me. I think for Jain,
I would say I practice I would say I practice by
1 more minute, so someone has to stop it at the return.
I'm vegan as well. For about 2 years. I was vegetarian for a year. It's vegan. You just have to be a little bit more like you can follow different cultures, then you can make that
All right, thank you. Would anyone like to share what they said or what their person they talked to said? All right. Yeah.
Okay, I don't beat my husband, so I practice Ahimsa.
Jai Jai. So this is Alka Jain, and we had a pretty interesting exchange about Ahimsa. And I've known her since last 20 years, and we practice vegetarianism pretty strictly. But then she also told me that one way she's practicing Ahimsa is to take it easy on her husband. So his wife doesn't get beaten up every day.
Yeah, and his wife is easy on him, so that's how they practice Ahimsa in their house.
So anyway, jokes apart, I think this is about we practice vegetarianism in our household, so that's how we practice Ahimsa. That's just one way. It's a very high-level way of practicing Ahimsa.
Yeah.
From our son, I did the newborn, he's vegetarian, his wife is vegetarian, our grandson is vegetarian, we practice it and we love it.
So people couldn't hear. He was just saying that he is vegetarian, his son is vegetarian, his grandson is vegetarian, so it's gotten passed down through the generations.
Yes, and it's absolutely amazing what that does to you in your daily life, how you look at things, how you look at animals, and how you practice it and just use it. It's easy for Jains to practice vegetarianism. So let's talk non-Jains, how they became vegan.
I became vegan because I had 4 chickens growing up. I actually became vegetarian shortly after this, but my chickens, I have 1 chicken who I was able to keep and 3 roosters. And unfortunately, there wasn't any place for us to, we had complaints basically. So and I was 5 years old, and there was no place for us to take the roosters at this time. So unfortunately, the roosters got sold to a farm, which was heartbreaking. But at this point now, in college, I learned about veganism, and I became vegan shortly after. And I've learned that there are places that can take these chickens, like Rooster Redemption, so that this doesn't happen to other chickens later on, which is wonderful.
I'm Gordon Namboodiripad. I give tours here at the Hindu Mandir and also go and speak to schools on Hinduism. And the basic thing I talk about is Hinduism is dharma. And what is dharma? It's very difficult to define, but if you take the root of dharma, it is ahimsa, not hurting anybody or anything. And the earth also, not just living beings, but not, you cannot live without hurting something, but minimize your impact. That's what I preach to schools, colleges, when I go and speak, and also to the tourists who come here. And by the way, about 1,500 tourists come to this temple every year. So and I'm not the only guy, and we go and talk to schools, probably about another 1,500 or 2,000 students we meet, and we talk about dharma as part of that.
I will share a story about my son, who is vegetarian. When he was in primary school, he was a petite little boy. He was early entrant at school, so the youngest one in class, so was bullied by the other students in the class. So against the family wishes, I decided to go against everybody. And I thought, hey, I don't want to make my kid any more different than what he is. So, and I thought it was very hard to explain to him at that age why we were vegetarian, why our religion is so focused on, being for Ahimsa. So I started sending in his lunches, I started sending pepperoni sandwiches. I got ham at home. And every time we drove by McDonald's, he would want to have chicken nuggets. And my husband would roll the windows down and say, boy, I can't stand this now. But the same year, I think he went to Hindu Mandir camp. And when he came back from there, he on his own chose to become vegetarian. And I thought that's the best way to become a vegetarian when you can make your own choice. So that's it. I said enough.
And I think we may continue on here. And I'm going to turn it over to Uni to share his story.
Thanks so much for having us here. Oh, sorry, a little loud here. Thanks so much for having us here. I'm just really happy. And it was funny what Mongo said. It's like, oh, this is great to see non-Jains being vegan and talking about vegetarian. And I'm thinking the same way around. I'm so used to being around non-Indians and non-Jains in a secular animal advocacy world. It's great to see a different community, this Jain community, promoting Ahimsa, promoting vegetarianism and veganism. So I'm going to tell a little of my story of how I became vegan and how I became involved in animal advocacy. I think that some of the elements will be pretty familiar to you. I lived in Minnesota just about my whole life, and as a child, so I was raised Hindu, and we ate all vegetarian food at home, but ate meat outside of the house, and I really liked eating McDonald's. And the two things that got me to change is when I was 10, at that age, my parents would leave me in India with relatives for a few months, and one of my dad's cousins he spent a lot of time with us, me, my brother and I, and looked over us. There was these semi-feral cats that were there. And I remember this one cat named Bobby, and my brother and I were learning the properties of cats being able to land on their feet when you drop them or when you throw them. Are people familiar with that? They can always land on their feet. And so my brother and I, we were 10, 11 years old. We would throw the cats up and watch them land on their feet. We threw them higher and higher, and they didn't like that. And eventually, my dad's cousin said very calmly and said to us, "If you keep doing that, they'll die." And I didn't think of myself as somebody who would be cruel to animals or to cause harm or suffering to animals, but I wasn't thinking about that, and that really stuck with me. I felt a lot of shame then at that moment, even though he said that in neutral language, but it really got me aware that I don't want to cause suffering in the world. As an adult, when I went to India, for the first time by myself, I traveled around the country. I decided to become a vegetarian, and very much embracing the cultural and religious backgrounds that I came from, but without a lot of thought about that. And then, not long after that, I learned about how animals are treated on farms. And you can see this one little picture here. This is a picture that my organization that I co-founded, Compassion in Action for Animals, that we took about 20 years ago when I started the group. And this is from a farm that's about 70 miles from Minneapolis. There's about 7 chickens they'll be in a cage, and they're egg-laying chickens. And in theory, you would not have to hurt a chicken to have eggs, but in reality, what usually happens is there's a lot of cruelty and suffering. And I don't want to talk about that too much. I think you're familiar. What I'll say is I co-founded Compassion in Action for Animals, and Laura can tell you a little bit about that. She's my successor. And I started Twin Cities Veg Fest. How many people have been to Twin Cities Veg Fest? Have many been here? Oh, some, right? Okay. So there was about 9,000 people at this festival, a really fun event with food and festivities and music. And so I found that being an animal advocate has been a very joyous and wonderful thing, not something that's dreadful, thinking about what's happening to animals. And so my time advocating for animals has been really something where I have felt a lot of love and compassion from people, and we promote love and compassion, and that feels really good. And so I really, I thank you for being here, and thank you for promoting vegetarianism and veganism and Ahimsa. And Laura's going to tell her story now.
So my story is that I was raised certainly caring about animals as companion animals. We had lots of pets as I was growing up, and my brother and I campaigned for years to get cats, in fact, and got cats who I love very much. But I did not at all connect the relationships I had with those animals with animals that might be on my plate that I might be eating. That was just something that we did, and it seemed normal to me. When I got a little bit older and moved away from home and went to college at 18, I started learning about just the differences in how much people have to eat, within this country and between countries, and how much of that actually has to do with animal agriculture, and how if we were all eating plants, then there could be enough food for everybody in the world. So I became vegetarian at that point, really based on that, on those human reasons, and still hadn't really changed my thinking about animals all that much. And then became involved a little bit with Compassion and Action for Animals, really through UNI and the great work of the organization, and went to the vegan chili cook-off, and it was just so much fun, and the people were so welcoming, and would run into UNI all the time as we were biking around the cities and with Sarah, and we just got more and more involved, and I just thought, wow, these are fantastic people. And then working actually alongside UNI as a volunteer to do pay-per-view outreach, which is where we show people what happens to animals who are raised for food. And by this point, already we had started to be vegan for some of the health reasons that you heard about earlier. I had started to be vegan for some of the health reasons you heard about earlier. But then as I looked at those videos, I just kind of went, wow, like how could I think that any creature and any being should be treated like this? And even, and that cows and chickens were treated as poorly and as horribly as they are, just broke my heart. And I thought, I have to do something to stop this. And then having a vegan lifestyle, I began to find this is just amazing. Like I can have food, in the morning and at lunch and at dinner, and there's no animals hurt anywhere in it. And it just felt fabulous, for all of the reasons that it's beneficial, for not harming animals, for having enough food for people, for the environment. But I think part of the message from Compassion and Action for Animals all along has been helping people make those connections between, especially in this country, animals that they might know of as companion animals in their homes, like dogs and cats, and animals that might be on their plate, and think, if we care about animals, why would we allow them to be treated this way? And I think the answer for most people is no, we don't want to allow them to be treated this way, and that has really built the vegan movement. And it's been pretty amazing, I think, what Uni and his founders have done, starting 21 years ago, that there were 9,000 people at Twin Cities Veg Fest this past year, and the number of vegan options that there are, and you just heard people talking about how easy it is to buy them at Whole Foods. You can even get them at Target in a cup and in Hy-Vee now, anywhere you go. There's plant-based milk, and there is vegan meats, and there is all the things that you might want to have. So it's been really amazing work, and I'm really honored to be able to carry it on today. So with that, we are going to bring you into an exercise to think about kind of how you can be taking the next step with Ahimsa, whether it's for animals or not in your own life, and I'm going to turn it over to Uni to talk about that.
Please. To become a vegan or vegetarian is a personal thing. In India, Jains also maintain the animal hospitals, bird hospitals, also the animal centers, animal houses, or panjara, they call it. So there animals come there, they are sick or they are not, they are all protected, they are given kind of a lifetime with nursing home, so-called nursing home or retired home for the animals. So my question to you would be, you can answer that later. Other than the veganism spreading, what CAA is doing to save the animals going through the troubles and so on and so on?
So I think there's a number of things. One is what you talked about, just people encouraging people to just make that personal connection, right? And move toward a plant-based diet, become vegetarian or become vegan. The other piece that we're doing these days is helping bring that food into schools or cafeterias or universities so that that can be making a bigger difference for animals and sparing more animals from that suffering. And then I think also Twin Cities Veg Fest has played a huge role in promoting both animal sanctuaries of the type you're talking about that James run in India. There are a number now here in the Twin Cities. And so at Twin Cities Veg Fest, you can learn about all of those. I think Laura mentioned Rooster Redemption earlier, which works just with roosters. There's several multi-species sanctuaries, Soul Space, Farmaste, and Spring Farm Sanctuary, all of which are wonderful. And they can serve, they do a wonderful job of introducing people to animals, letting them know them as individuals, promoting a vegan diet. And of course, they can't save them all, and so really what Compassion and Action for Animals' role is to really support people, whether that's as individuals or whether that's at the level of cafeterias, to really get animals off people's plates so that we can collectively make that difference for animals through our actions.
Okay, so we're going to do one last activity here. We really want to make this interactive and have your participation. So what I want you to do is think of one fun or creative thing you do, or interest that you have, or skill that you have, and write. So we gave you a piece of paper. Write that down on the paper. And so I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. Okay, great. So this is what I want you to do. I want everybody to get into groups of 3 and talk about your skill, your interest, your creative thing, all of those 3 things, and how you can use those 3 things together to promote Ahimsa. So this will mean you'll have to talk to some new people. So please go ahead and do that. We want people to meet each other and talk to each other how you can combine what you have together for the cause of Ahimsa.
Oh, come on. You want to be in our group? You want to be in our group? Oh, yeah, it was great. What's your name? Yeah, any photography? Anything particular? I like portraits. How are you? I like portraits. That's natural. Yeah. Have you seen that the videos of it? It looks oh, yeah. What about you?
Time while you dancing and write down about your creativity. I would just thank Ram Miss Laura, and Mr. Uni for this interactive session and giving us an insight about animal compassion. And now I would like to invite our Vice President Viraj Gandhi to say a few words here. The entire Jain Community Center, I would like to say sincere thank you to our CAA representatives, Laura and Uni, for coming here and explaining what we really believe as a Jain, and giving us all this information and presentation that we are all passionate about. And it reminds us again, we are all, as they say, with animals. We are Jain that believes not hurting people. We believe not hurting even soul. So even hurting somebody in the physical, it's even out of scope. We don't even think about it. So thank you again for being here, and thank you all the committee members, non-TXT members for coming here and helping us out event to be successful. Would like to call our energetic youth who has put on those silent baskets. They work so hard. So take a look and see they are promoting their ideas to raise profit money, and all the money goes to charity event. And it's wonderful themes in there. There are some sunshine baskets. There are some relaxation baskets. So take a look. It's really hard work. And come on over and take a look on that. I would like to invite our youth committee, Diya Jain, Misha Shah, Mahek Jain, Neil Shah, and Yusuf.
Oh, hi guys, I'm Dia James and we're all part of the youth committee. And this year to raise revenue, we decided to make games and do a silent auction to raise money to donate to nonprofit organizations. We have made 5 different themed baskets for people to auction on, all having different themes. By auctioning, not only are you helping a nonprofit organization, you get to go home with a prize. To auction, write down your name and your bid on the sheet of paper in front of the basket. Make sure to increase your bid by at least $5. Also, the highest bid across all 5 baskets will win a surprise basket, so you get to go home with 2 baskets. The surprise basket will be revealed when the auction ends. We have made a coffee, kids art, relaxing sunshine, and Jane starter kit basket. The coffee basket contains a coffee mug, various types of coffee, and various types of tea.
Hi, I'm Rashad Jain. The basket that I put together is the art basket. It includes 100 markers, 100 crayons, and a couple of coloring books to go along. Some more things that are included are paints and paintbrushes. It also has a 100-piece art set with a little bit of everything.
Hi, my name is Nisha, and I've put together the relaxation basket. So in there you have some candles, aromatherapy lotion, a writing prompt journal, some coloring utensils and paper. And we've also got some tea as well. And the sunshine basket was put together by Summer. And there's just lots of yellow themed items, candles, candy, stuff like that, just to brighten up your day.
Hi, my name is Mahek Jain, and I put together the Jane Starter Kit. So inside there's a set of books by Jaina, which basically gives you information on how to incorporate Jainism in their daily life. So it includes some of the books are like a Jain guide for kids in college, a Jain storybook, the basics of Jainism. This basket also includes a puja bag, arti utensils, and a Sapnaji, and also a Samaya kit. Thank you.
Hi, so my name is Neil. In the back of the lunchroom over there, we have a game section with a bunch of games. We have Pin the Tail, Beanbag Toss, Cup Pong, Cup Stacking, and a bunch of others. And each game costs $1 or 1 ticket. And there's also face painting. A small face painting costs $1 and 1 ticket, and a large one costs 2 tickets. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll wrap up the exercise we're doing right now, and if people, we want to get a couple examples of the things that people have thought of as groups of 3 of the creative things that you do to promote Ahimsa. And Laura, so we'll just look for 2 examples, and Laura will go around with the microphone and talk to you.
Raise your hand.
Hello.
Sorry,
Me personally, I volunteer at Animal Rights Coalition. That's really, it gets me active in the community. Before I was just feeling pretty isolated. It is a really vegan-friendly country, but doesn't necessarily mean, they're actually vegan-friendly. But I also cook and bake a lot, and I feel good about making and eating the food, whereas before I didn't really have passion for food like I do now, so.
One more example.
I just added 3 things starting with A. Awake. Awake is with the knowledge. What is the true knowledge? Awake. Arise. Arise, get up from the laziness or idleness. Whatever you get from the knowledge. And then third one is the act. Put it in your life, action. So those are the 3 words, and I go ahead and have some also.
You're putting me on my, they asked what fun thing I do. The fun thing that I can think of I do every day is walk with my wife. But that's not possible. No, I think I'm going to put a little bit more emphasis on that Ahimsa, on the Dharma part of Hinduism. When I speak to schools and tourists, I also want to tell the tour guides that use it because that's an important part of because when you come for a tour here, we usually try to think about what you tell about the shrines there. But the basis of all that is Dharma, which is based on Ahimsa.
Oh, well, we should wrap up now, I think, to get on to the next thing. So just very quickly, Laura and I are going to talk about some of the things that we have going on and how you can get involved. So I left Compassionate Action for Animals a few years ago, and Laura's the current director. And these days, what I've been doing is helping animal advocates develop more compassion and love for themselves, so they can be more sustainable, so they can do things in a more gentle and loving way. And so I'm planning a retreat for animal advocates. If anybody wants to go, there's a sign-up sheet there and some flyers. It's at the end of June. It's a free retreat with meditation and free meals and just a time away to relax and rejuvenate.
And with Compassionate Action for Animals, we have many, many ways to be involved. But I'd like you to consider either maybe following us on Facebook, signing up for our email list, because you'll find out about all of them that way, or considering getting involved either as being a mentor, or if you're interested yourself and you're thinking, maybe I want to move myself towards being vegan, we can match you up with someone who will help you do that. Or getting involved with helping cafeterias to have plant-based food. So at our table over there, you can share your email and do any of those things. And I look forward to getting to know all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Youth Committee, for showing the wonderful talent on the silent auction. I would now like to invite Carnival.
Thank you very much. In the interest of the time, I will go very fast. Thank you, Unni and Laura, for your presentation. It was fantastic. And thanks to our youth committee for preparing baskets. So baskets will be put on the dining area later on, so you can bid on that. Again, whatever money we get from basket auction, we'll donate to the non-profit organizations. So, in our religion, we generally say, in our native language, we say, full nahi to fully party. What does it mean? It means if you cannot be completely support an organization, but whenever you get chance, right? If the organization works in the right direction, support them, whatever way, small amount or small way, doesn't matter. So this year, Jain Center of Minnesota decided to donate a small token amount to the great organization of CAA this year. So I would like to request Unni and Laura to come on the stage, and on behalf of Jain Center of Minnesota, I would like to our founding father, Pankaj Jain, to come on the stage for a small check handover. So this year, we are donating $500 to this organization who is working very great on the field of vegan food and animal compassion. So thank you very much for that, and please Pankaj Jain.
It is a great honor to be able to present this check to you on behalf of PCM. I think you guys are doing an excellent job, and we are promoting the Ahimsa that we all Jains are. So that is our founding principle, and we're very happy that you were able to come here and enlighten us on what you're doing. And I'm very hopeful that more people will be able to join and make your organization even better as we go on. So for both of us, let me just come to the middle here. I would like to present this check for $500 on behalf of JCM, and I'd like to welcome you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pankaj Bhai. Thank you, Laura and Unni. Thanks for coming and giving us a very good presentation. So back to Pranesh and Anand for
Thanks, audience, for joining us today. Please enjoy the delicious food and the activities involved.
I think
nothing more to say anymore. Let's, I think, head over to the food. But before that, I would say make sure you visit our booth. We have a book, selling book. That's a Jainism books, and they are really, really nice books. So take a look on it. Also, our Pathsala booth, our education booth, and there are so many other activities. So make sure you visit them and get some knowledge, I would say, and enjoy the food. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Thank you, CAA committee, CAA representative, and all the people who came all the way here to give us all the detailed information and a discussion topic for us, and even think about what we can do in our life. Thank you. Thank you.
And also, I would like to thank all volunteers, our action community members, food team members. They work round the clock to make it happen. So thank you, everyone. Please visit the booth, Parshala booth and Jainism booth, as well as we have so many games booth outside, Henna booth, activity booth, Facebook. So please visit, and all your activities collection going towards the donation. So thank you very much for that.
And we would like to give a special thanks to the Hindu Mandir of Minnesota for letting us hold this carnival here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's